My commission money.
It doesn't make sense to it.
If you think that somebody else was thinking that way, I know better than that.
Yes, and yell at them in a certain way. Do you know what that way is?
The history is supposed to be interpreted.
Some sort of control.
Let me
It's
give you an
blame.
example of a typical conversation between you and a blame shifter. You could say, I always pay the bills every time. Why is it so? Before you even finish talking, they would interrupt and say, how dare you raise your voice at me? You don't have the rights. And in a bid to defend yourself, you both end up in meaningless arguments while not thrashing the main issue, which is the bills.
How do we explain behaviors? When we see somebody do something that we really just don't like, and we label them, maybe they're stubborn. Asking questions is one of the best ways to explain behavior.
What's our first reaction when somebody does something that doesn't make sense to us?
I can't imagine who the fuck.
Yes, and yell at them in a certain way. Do you know what that way is?
As I remember, the reason we were in foreclosure is
some sort of control. It's blame.
In this chair, we love to blame, to complain, to punish,
right, because you're the one who wants the money because you don't allow anyone to do it.
in this chair
And the reason that we went to lawyers is because of the bankruptcy that you didn't.
Somehow, we human beings, everybody, have the idea that blame solves things.
How did I create
I mean, think about it.
If you weren't,
I had experience one time where two people, it was Christmas, and they were traveling to, a couple were traveling to see a family, and they pulled off the road to call me because they were blaming each other about who didn't put gas in the car.
20270 at 6:29 p.m. November 15th.
This is the third time that the micro SD card has been removed from my gas account. The first few times I've done it, I've topped out. It's very tricky, and I thought maybe somebody went over a bump and it ejected. But this time I dipped it in, so obviously somebody's been purposely removing it for whatever reason. They don't want to be tracked. They think somebody's watching them because they don't want people to know where they go or something like that. Put the card back. Do not want the dash cam on when you're driving. Unplug it from the cigarette lighter. There is no internal battery. We have it up for insurance purposes. I can't imagine who the
how did you save my
I
ass?
can't imagine who the fuck would take the card out 3 times, but it's not coincidence or accident anymore.
How many additional memory cards do you generally have in your possession?
Only mentioned.
Wouldn't it be a simpler solution to just replace the missing card and post a polite note inquiring as to any reason someone may have removed the previous ones, explaining the insurance function?
Do you think you owe me a thank you?
Guys, just go get gas.
Oh, Joe.
Because if
Actually,
you're
I don't.
blaming does not solve problems, but we do it. And
I only saved your ass the deal.
The message is about what behaviors and attitudes we bring into the world in every moment. The jackal chair to attack. And in fact, this chair here is the chair where we misbehave the most.
They start arguing about inconsequential things not related to the discussion. All they do is to find fault in what you are saying. They pick your words and use it against you, accusing you of insulting them. Claim you are playing the victim while they are the ones that are.
Hold your horses.
They bring meaningless points and drag you into a constant debate that you get so sucked up with the argument and you don't face the
Ask
main
me
issue
why
at
I
hand.
had removed the memory card. You would have discovered you and I both had the same intentions, which is to obtain driving data insurance and safety.
So
I
how
will
is
explain
that
I had
my
angled the
fault?
dash cam in
If
such
it's
that
not
you
your
could catch a reflection of the speed odometer on the windshield during the late hours that Tyler was driving to various nightclubs.
Outside of work. Ask yourself
Instead of giving me the respect of asking why I might have taken the card, you chose the negative narrative of me that is your go-to-default perspective for all my behaviors and actions.
My first executive coach
Crazy, paranoid troublemaking.
Henry is insinuating I must be suffering from delusional paranoia. The phrase "because they think someone is watching him" is very clearly implying that a mental illness is the only explanation for such behavior in Henry's opinion.
Crazy, paranoid troublemaking.
So we also see a moment where Brian is asked if Gabby
taking any medication, and he actually calls Gabby crazy and laughs it off like a joke before answering.
Dr. Heinzman's video shows signs of narcissism that led to an abusive relationship with Gabby. It's now on display for the world to see.
To jokingly call her crazy is gaslighting, and it is flat-out dismissiveness of the seriousness of what she was feeling, and it's abusive.
That when founders are in a situation where they're fighting about everything.
This is a social media posting where Henry refers to Robert, his ex, as being crazy.
And the message is about what behaviors and attitudes we bring into the world in every moment. The jackal chairs to attack. And in fact, this chair here is the chair where we misbehave the most to judge.
Somebody's been purposely moving it for whatever reason. They don't want to be tracked. They think somebody's watching them because they don't want to know where they go or something like
Even
that.
if we don't speak to people the way Winston Churchill does, we often think
Hold your
that way
horses.
in our heads. Our internal monologue literally interrupts what people are saying.
Don't jump to conclusions.
Asked me why I had removed the memory card, you would have discovered you and I both had the same intentions, which is to obtain driving data insurance and safety. I will explain I had angled a dash cam in such that it could catch a reflection of the speed odometer on the windshield during the late hours that Tyler was driving to various nightclubs.
Debate is quite different than the goal of most relationships. Or you're debating somebody on a stage, in which case your goal is basically to humiliate that person as badly as possible.
You probably don't want to focus on debating in your interpersonal relationships, because the goal of debate is quite different than the goal of most relationships.
Or you're debating somebody on a stage, in which case your goal is basically to humiliate that person as badly as possible.
I'm sorry. I didn't know that happened to you. I don't remember any of that.